What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Rolo Rome Star Wars show.
What up, gang?
Rip Tack, boys and girls, if you're here.
Salute to the homie Tech, bro. Wow. That was
We had to do that. That's the clone theme. You know, we had to respect our boy, the sacrifice that he may or may not have made, because no one's ever dead in Star Wars unless you see him get a bullet in their head.
Well,
you can't even say a lightsaber through the chest anymore because Kenobi ruined that one.
So I think you know how I said last week that we really needed to get good Bad Batch episodes and that we needed a good Mando episode. Well, I think we got I think it's safe to say
closer with the Bad Batch one, but I gotta say, we're both wrong. Just like I said last week. Remember, I was like, all of our speculation, there's a fourth possibility that all of our ideas are completely wrong, and Filoni's gonna come up with something completely different. The only thing we got right was our prediction about Tech a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So everything else, we didn't get Tantus.
I thought Tech was gonna die in season 3. That was what I thought.
I had a feeling that somebody was going to die this season. And I thought it was going to be Tech for that reason. For the fact that we've gotten so much character development for Tech recently.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved the finale. I thought the first half of it was whatever. Pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of still whatever. I mean, Saw Gerrera just out of nowhere.
I know, right?
So let's kind of run through it. So
they basically get the transmission, and then there's very little resistance. It's kind of just Hunter's not really sure, but then he kind of just goes along with it.
Yeah, so then we gotta go. Echo's we gotta go.
Yeah.
Wreckers, we gotta go. Even Omega, and then Hunter's yeah, whatever. And what do we say? We thought Hunter was gonna be the one that would resist.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't. Our predictions have been pretty on point.
It's true.
The past couple episodes.
And then they went to go and try to put a beacon onto Hemlock's ship so that they could.
How they got the information on Iridadu, which is Tarkin's homeworld, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why Tarkin has his facility there and his base of operations. Right, it's like Tarkin's castle kind of base thing, personal base, and so they go there, right? Easily hijack onto that tram. And I don't know about you, but even just holding a pipe and holding onto my gun, you got to have some arm strength for that. I don't know how Omega did it.
I think, and I'm a pretty athletic guy now. That would hurt me because
how long were they on that tram for?
Yeah.
That's a long tram across.
That's probably maybe 10 minutes. That would hurt.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
I would be at that point, it's just instinct. It's just hold on, just keep holding on to this pipe.
I love the little moment where Wrecker was trying to not look down, but then
he just goes, oh. Yeah, I feel you there, Rick.
But then they get into the facility, and then
they were just trying to get information on Hemlock and follow him back.
Yeah.
And by running into stormtroopers, ended up being Saw, because Saw recognized them because he worked with them in season 1. So he recognized them and he was like, whoa. It's me, guys. You should get out of here before I blow this place to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then really before they have a time to talk, all the stormtroopers run in and Saw just starts shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's all about them getting back with each other. They get on the tram. That's pretty much all that happens in that first bit, except for Hemlock talking to Tarkin. That was one of the most important things there.
Yeah.
So not only did we see Director Krennic in animation.
Yeah.
Critic.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great. As soon as I saw a blonde dude who looked real prissy in a white suit, I was like, that's Krennic. 100%. That has to be Krennic. And then before it's announced that that's him, though, you have Tarkin talking to Hemlock, who's late, and he's like, basically, Hemlock is telling Tarkin, any decommissioned clones, send them to me.
Hemlock is insufferable, bro. Like
I told you, he is like Werner von Braun from World War II. He's like,
yeah,
send me. Send me. I'll do experiments on them. They're property. They're not human. They're not clone. They're property.
That that Imperial officer that actually stuck up for the clones. What's his name?
I actually don't know, and I think he might have been one of the. He said he served with the clones for many years. That makes me believe that he was one of like an Admiral Yularen type of person who served with the Jedi and then served with all the clones, but he was on the frigate on the Venator the whole time.
Yeah,
so I have a feeling he was somebody like that, almost like Plo Koon's dude.
Yeah,
we only see like once or twice, which that even might have been him, but older. Like I don't know.
Right? Yeah, it's possible.
He looked kind of similar, but I don't think it was the same person. That's the first thing I thought, and then I was like, I don't know if that's him.
Something that like I also thought of too was that like Tarkin said that, you know, the clones have like a loyalty problem, but then like, you know, as you'll see getting later into the part of the episode, he has no problem killing his own men.
Of course he doesn't.
So like talk about loyalty, right?
Of course he doesn't.
Yeah.
To him, it's a necessary loss. He's thinking he's always thinking tactically on what's best for the Empire. And if what's best for the Empire is to kill a whole squad of two squads of your own troops, and that's what's best for the Empire and their sacrifices, and they were died heroes. That's how he thinks of it. But he also believes that stormtroopers are expendable. That's why instead of using clones that cost so much money, they just started like drafting regular people, and not only just drafting them, but like have volunteers. Some planets are drafted, some aren't. Some are just volunteers from Coruscant, you know, whatever. Again, like I said, not all Imperials. When we're talking about episode 3 of Mando, of season 3, when I said not every Imperial was bad.
Yeah.
Some of them are just a dude who sits there and types on a computer all day. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of them are just bureaucrats.
Right. But so then we like, you know, get to the part where you know, the Bad Batch have to get back onto the tram. But first of all,
Saw blows the place. And you see Tarkin, he's like, don't worry about it, we're safe. Even though he's at the top of the tower, he's like, we're completely safe, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And like it's just like a bunker, like at the top of this tower. And I'm assuming that tower has like extreme reinforced beams all the way through that mountain. Things that you can't get to from a simple explosion in the reactor room.
Right. Yeah.
Or that simple power station or whatever that was.
Right.
And that destroys the tracker. And then as they're running out, the Bad Batch hops on that tram. All these stormtroopers are coming in to try and kill him. They're fighting the stormtroopers as they get the tram going. And then the trams stop on both sides. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
There was really not a ton to talk about other than like the implications of the Tarkin stuff and the fact that they mention like all these cloning experiments. Like I said, Dark Troopers, other things.
They also mentioned
Stardust,
which is them starting to work on the building of they're starting on the Death Star, baby. Yeah. Yep.
Which also means, well, they've already been starting on it since Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Remember, Dooku has the hologram in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, right.
So that's when production first started, was before the Clone War. And that's why at the end of Revenge of the Sith, you see it like a quarter of the way built. Just like a structure, like a skeleton of it. And then we saw it in Andor, but Andor takes place after this. But yeah, so that means Galen Erso is already working on it, which means that soon enough he's going to defect with his wife and Jin. And they're going to go to forget the name of the planet. They're gonna go to that really cool planet that was filmed in New Zealand from the beginning of Rogue One.
Yeah. But I mean, there were a lot of implications, but not really a whole lot truly happened.
A lot of running around.
Yeah,
I like seeing Omega sneak, and
yeah,
Wrecker's like, I can't do it. You got to do it.
Yeah,
and that reminded me of when you're trying to get your sneak level up in Skyrim or Fallout or any game with a sneak level. You're trying to get it up. So you just like try and sneak the most hard ways that you can, like right in front of people so that it gets your level up higher. Like I was waiting for someone to catch her.
I'm also used to it being like, Omega and Hunter and then like Wrecker and Tex. So like it was kind of nice to see Wrecker and Omega and then Hunter, Echo and Tech. So
yeah, and I think it was kind of cool. Yeah, you barely see Hunter and Tech together.
Right.
Like it's the two of them.
Yeah.
Unless they were to get caught together or something. But it's mostly been Hunter Omega, Tech and Omega, and sparingly Wrecker and Omega.
Yeah.
Sparingly.
Yeah.
I would argue that we got more time with Crosshair and Omega than we have with one-on-one Wrecker and Omega.
True. Yeah. And we see Crosshair in the final episode, which I think...
First of all, what do you think of the first half? Like, what would you rate the first half of the finale?
Just... a 7.5 is cool with me.
If you're taking the first half of the finale and removing it from the second half, like if the second half ends up being episode 1 of season 3, how do you feel about the end of the show right there?
A 6, maybe?
That's what I'm saying. If they didn't have that second half, that episode would not be that good.
But the second half
would be up in arms. Yeah, the second half was really good, but everybody would have been up in arms with the first half. That's how it ended. Because that was like a whole lot of nothing other than the Stardust stuff and like seeing Saw, which again doesn't make sense how Saw knows where this place is. But I guess it also does because if Echo and Tech could find out where it was and stuff like that, then I suppose that a Rebel cell could figure it out as well. But
yeah,
it's interesting. And did you notice he was with a female stormtrooper? She didn't take her helmet off. And then when he ran out and stole the ship, there was like 6 other dudes in there with him. That means he had like sleeper agents, not even sleeper agents, just other rebels in disguise waiting for him to just pull the trigger.
Right. Yeah.
So we don't know how many in there were actually not even
stormtroopers, right? Stormtroopers.
And the other thing is, again, we're completely wrong about Mount Tantus. We were completely wrong because they don't go there.
I thought the season was actually about to end there, but I gotta say
that would have sucked if it ended with them hanging above the chasm like that, dude. Oh my god, I would have been mad.
I got a hot take. I liked part 2 of the finale better than last year's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I liked part 1 of last year's better than this year's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I completely agree with you on that one. I think part 2 was really good. It had like almost like some, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it had the intensity of like Mission Impossible or something like that.
When we get to them coming out of the tram, when Omega's going in and out of consciousness, just like when we
the first person, that was sick.
It reminded me of Halo Reach. Remember when you're like going
Reach? When 6 pulls his helmet off and he's like,
yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the best that's one of the best scenes in Halo. I know this is Star Wars talk today, but I just have to say that is one of the best scenes in Halo.
I mean, these scenes and moments are probably like they're like Dave probably was like playing Halo, and then he was like, "Hey, what if I did something like that here? That'd be cool." Like,
Well, I also think it was a callback to the Umbara arc.
Yeah.
That was the first time they ever did that in Clone Wars in season 4, which is literally one of the best arcs in all of Clone Wars. It is amazing. I would say it's one of the best stories in Star Wars. That's a side story, just about the clones. Anakin's involved a little bit, but it's just about the clones, and it is beautiful. Like, even if you're not a Clone Wars fan, go and watch the Umbara arc because it'll make you one. When they drop on Umbara and you just see the dude in first person, it's like, like just from his perspective, like you're playing Call of Duty while you're watching Clone Wars. Like, it's freaking cool, man. So awesome. But I want to say that before that, I like the fact that there were the troopers on the other tram, and they just instantly opened the doors, and they were stacked. They were stacked. There was a ton of them in there.
Yeah,
both floors.
There's probably like 30 of them in there.
Probably at least 20 of them in there.
Yeah,
they're just lighting them up. Hunter's just taking them out. And how about when Tarkin calls in the V-wings? And they're like, well, what about our men? That's what the other general dude says.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah.
Right before that, you see those half stormtrooper, shock troopers. Have the clone trooper pauldron in the armor, but the red and white, like Ralph McQuarrie style stormtrooper helmet. I think they look so cool. I would buy a figure of them. They look dope.
Dude, I was thinking in my head when I was watching it, I was like, that's Palpatine's guard. It's not
just Palpatine's. Shock troopers guard like the highest of the high.
Right. They're like, security guards, but they're also stormtroopers too, which is like, kind of weird.
The Secret Service.
Yeah, kind of.
Or like, yeah, they're like a really large amount of like the Secret Service, where they don't just like protect the president and the government, in the main cabinet. They protect like the government, like the president or chancellor in this case, his cabinet, and then all of his high-ranking governors. And so, like, you wouldn't see the ISB with them. The ISB has death troopers.
Right, yeah.
So, like, Krennic and Yularen and even Dedra, who we see in Andor, they use death troopers.
Yeah.
So that's the difference there.
I just like to see them though. That was actually cool. Like,
yeah. Actually, I don't know if I could. If you guys are watching this, you've seen it. I was gonna pull up a picture of them because they look damn cool. But if you guys are watching this, you've already seen it.
Definitely.
So from there, we're in the tram. Tarkin goes, fire on them. Send the V-wings out. What about our men? I don't care. Good sacrifices.
That's what I was saying earlier. Yep.
Good sacrifices. We were talking about this before we started recording, where it's not that Tarkin has no regard to him in his mind. It's more so like they're soldiers of the Empire. They're supposed to die for the Empire. And if this is for the greater good, then it's for the greater good. They sacrifice themselves. Good. Screw it.
Yep.
They're heroes. Whatever.
Yeah.
So V-wings show up. They start firing. Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. On both sides of the tracks. And if I remember correctly,
doesn't Hunter tell Tech that like he needs to fix the tram, and then
Tech's gonna go up there and fix the tram,
right?
And Hunter is covering him,
right? Yeah,
climbs up, and Hunter makes that one shot, dude. Hits the right, like the left wing of one of the V-wings, and it just pops and just. And I think does it go down or does it hit the other tram?
It hit the other tram.
I thought so.
That was why the tram was like starting to fall. Yeah.
No, another one shot their tram, the Bad Batch's tram.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. It didn't hit the other tram. It went down because those stormtroopers were still shooting at them when Tech was up top.
Right.
So then Tech's up top. He's booking it on the rail line. Then he has to jump over, which I love seeing Tech be a badass. I love that about this season.
They were they were building that the whole season.
Because usually when you think of like the techie character, they're not usually in combat that much.
Right. Yeah.
And like whether it's like in Cyberpunk Edge Runners, or if it's in like some anime, or if it's in other shows, or James Bond, or like things like that, the techie guy's never the guy like running out in the battle. Usually he's the guy that has a gun on him, and when he gets in his pinch, then he'll pull the gun out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, or he or she. Usually they're not a fighter. I like seeing him be a fighter and not just relegated to that.
Not that I didn't mind him, but like in season 1, he kind of just wasn't like, I mean, he was there, but like he like didn't do anything. Whereas like now Tech got the most. It was him and Crosshair. He got the most
screen time this season.
Yeah.
And I love him. I thought he's like one of my favorite characters. Shout out to my friend Chance, our friend Chance, who also really loves him. I know he's gonna watch this.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he so we'll get to that part. So Tech gets it back online, and as he does, the tram falls off because it gets shot. The back tram hook gets shot by a V-wing. So Tech's on his way running back, and I think it actually gets shot right as he's about to jump on it, and that's when it slides.
Yep.
And he hooks on, and he's hanging there, like literally, like 20 feet down from it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just hanging by the tram, and he climbs up as fast as he can, but he's like, I can't. This isn't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Hunter is still shooting out the doors, and he tells Wrecker to go and get him. Omega runs to the back with him. And he's telling Echo to get the tram online now.
Right.
And he's like, I can't. We're not connected to the track anymore. Only the top one is to get the back one connected. So Tech knows this. He's not stupid, obviously. He's the smartest one of them. He's like, we're not getting out of here if you guys come and get me. And you see Hunter, Wrecker steps up, and you see the whole tram just like even farther. And he's like, stop. And then Omega's like yelling at Wrecker to get him. And Tech just goes, I need to do this, Wrecker, or something like that. And he goes, Plan 99. Oh no, he says, don't you do it.
And then Tech says,
and he goes, Plan 99. He goes, don't you do it, Tech. And then he goes, when have we ever followed orders? And shoots it, and it just and falls. And then you just hear like the somber music. And no, dude, no, Omega's like screaming, and so is like Wrecker. And then the tram just starts to boom forward, so they can't even see what happened to him. And it's going full speed. They can't stop it. Goes right through the station, flies out into nowhere, and then that's where we get that scene of Omega waking up with the first person, like you said, Halo Reach-esque. And then you get her just being lifted up by Wrecker as Echo and Hunter are firing on like presumably stormtroopers. Yeah. And they get in their ship and dip. Next thing you know, they're at Ord Mantell again in Sid's place. And yeah, I was right about her too. We were right about her too. So I thought it was really sad that she didn't remember. You know, she was like, oh, what happened? And then she was like, wait a second, where's Tech? We had to get him. We got to go back. And it's like, he's gone, dude. We can't. And you could tell that they were all screwed up about it too. And then it cuts to Wrecker in the bar, just sitting there. And Sid pours him a drink and says, this one's on the house. And he's like, I don't even.
Is that before or after Hunter says that he wants them to like retire?
He said, you want to go back to Pabu and live there? Yeah. Which like, would you like that? Let's retire and stop being soldiers. Let's go live on Pabu.
Yeah.
Else.
Yeah. Which took I'm sure a lot of character growth for him to like, because all that they know is just being in like, you know, the middle of like battle. That's like, you know, all that they know.
All they would ever know.
Yeah.
That's all they would ever know.
So the fact that they want to stop means that they're following like their own thoughts.
They're following their individuality, and it's not even that. Sorry, I want to get my Vader on here a little bit more. It's not even that they want to stop. I think part of it is that, to me, I'm also thinking to myself, like, now that you think Tech's dead, which we assume, now that you think Tech's dead, you're going to give up on Crosshair?
Right.
Or is your plan to bring Omega back to Pabu, leave her there,
and then go get Crosshair?
Hook up with Rex and then go get Crosshair.
That's probably what...
Because for me, my thinking is, otherwise, Tech just died for nothing.
Right. Yeah.
He saved you guys, but the whole point that you were there was to go and save your brother Crosshair once you got the information.
Right. Yeah.
So, in that case, Tech would die for your lives. That's not nothing. He died for his brother and sister, his brothers and sister.
Yeah.
That's completely understandable. But at the same time, the cause is not there. Other than that, like they never got answers. So if I'm Hunter, I'm getting these answers for Tech, for his sacrifice. But at the same time, you got to think to yourself, maybe he's like also thinking Tech sacrificed himself so that we wouldn't die. And if we end up going after Crosshair, there's a good possibility we could die. And that would also be a waste of his sacrifice.
Yeah.
So
there's many different
head on both ways right now.
There's many different ways that I think that they could think about it. But I think because you and me have both made choices when we were in pain. I think that when you're in pain, you make choices that you don't really necessarily that you would make when you have like a level head on. So
exactly,
absolutely,
that's 100% true psychology. Yeah, 100%.
I think that Hunter was thinking with his pain, not really so much with his head.
I think he was also just thinking about getting Omega to somewhere safe and somewhere that she can live and be a child. Because you see that foreshadowing when they're on Pabu.
Yep.
He sees how happy she is having a friend that's another little girl. And they enjoy life together and they have fun. Like, I think that's what he's thinking. Well, that doesn't last long.
No.
Because it cuts back to Wrecker. And Sid's like, no, I always liked Goggles because that's what she called Tech. And then she goes, really sorry, Muscles. And he looks at him. He goes, what did you do? And she looks back at him like, And then it cuts to Echo, who's in the ship still, where we see him and Gonki. Gonki, best character in Star Wars. No, I'm kidding. And he's like, there's an Imperial Star Destroyer, guys. We need to get the hell out of here, like, now. And then Hunter's like, Omega, get in the secret compartment, get the hell out of here, get to the ship. The sewers. Take AZ and go. I'm going to go hold him off. Well, he just shoots the door first as she escapes. And then he blows the door up on some commandos. And then he books it through. When he comes out, they got Wrecker on his knees with 3 guns to his head. And then all these other commandos with Hemlock standing there.
Remember in season 1 when they would put their like blasters on, stun whenever it came to shooting at like, a clone?
They do that in this season too. Yeah,
but I mean, Hunter didn't really care though.
Oh, at this point, Hunter didn't give a shit. He was gonna kill them all.
Yeah.
He was gonna kill them all. That's my brother you have there hostage.
Yeah.
And then Hemlock's talking about like, where's Omega? And he's like, oh, she's long gone. You're never going to find her.
Right.
Meanwhile, Omega's dumbass stays instead of going to Echo. And she's like sneaking.
She ruins everything, bro.
She's sneaking through like a dumbass. And then what she's watching Hemlock talk and Hemlock pulls out the goggles of Tech.
Yeah, bro, that got me, which means that Tech might be alive.
I have a theory about that, but I want to get to the end of the episode first.
Okay.
So we get Tech's goggles, and then Hunter's like, he lowers his gun a little bit and just drops it.
Right.
And then Hemlock throws the goggles at him, and he picks the goggles up, and then they bring Hunter over. And I think that's when Omega, like, doesn't she shoot at them or something? She shoots something, or shoots a gas line, or she does something to distract them.
I think her and AZ.
Oh, no. Her and AZ go outside.
Yeah.
When they see them getting captured.
Yes. Yeah.
So her and AZ go outside, and she jumps down that balcony, and she fires right in front of Hemlock.
Yes. Yep.
And then she's got another one locked up, and Hunter or Wrecker are both like, get out of here. Go. Like, get the hell out of here. And he's trying to talk to her. Hemlock's like, hello, Omega. I'm looking for you. Like, just come with me, and I'll let your friends go. Like, it'll be fine.
It seemed like she had a moment of like this. She seemed like she was contemplating it for maybe like,
for the sake of her brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. She absolutely was contemplating that for a second. And he didn't even give her the second. Because instantly Scorch pops down and he goes, pew, shocks her. And then that's when you get Echo coming around the corner, but you don't know it's Echo yet. This is an ATST prototype coming around the corner and just starts firing at all the Imperials and shit. It's Echo. And then you just see Wrecker just pop them off like they were nothing, and then just rips Hunters off.
Which means that he could have done that the whole time.
Yeah, he could have done that the entire time. He was waiting for the moment because they knew Echo was coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had to have known. They were like, Echo's not going to leave. Like, he's going to come. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So they were just waiting for the signal, basically.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, Scorch grabs Omega and they dip. Chaos is going on. And another ATST prototype shoots down Echoes. So he gets out of there.
Oh, just like a little like side note, I love Scorch's armor in this show, bro. It's so freaking cool.
It's just accurate. It's extremely accurate to it wasn't Republic Commando.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
But so then they
fight through the city to go and get Omega, which we know is now knocked out.
And
they're jumping over stuff, shooting people, going all over the place.
It was wild, yeah.
Right as they make it to where Hemlock was about to take off, he's just bam, gone. And they're like, fuck.
And then they get into the Marauder.
And they get in the Marauder. And they
Hunter.
Doesn't Hunter literally just say, we have to get her back? And that's the last time we see them for the episode?
He said that, like, they're not going to stop until they get her back.
Yeah. We're not going to stop until we get her back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then it cuts to Mount Tantus. And then on Mount Tantus, Nala Se comes out to greet her, but says nothing. She's like, Nala Se, tell me what's going on. Why do they want me? Why am I here? And Nala Se just looks like, I failed, man. I failed my greatest creation. Fully failed her. And I feel bad for Nala Se now. I hated her in Clone Wars.
Really? Why?
Because of what she did to Fives.
Right. Yeah.
She's the one who drugged Fives so that he started going nuts.
Right. Yeah.
Once he had his chip taken out to prove the point.
But you feel bad for her now?
Somewhat. Because I feel like she's sitting there going, wow, I did everything I was told. And now I've screwed all of my creations. I've screwed all my work. I'm screwing the Empire. I'm screwing, not the Empire in a good way, the Empire's people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, not the government, the people. It's like, I'm basically the reason the whole galaxy is going to get even more messed up now.
Yep.
So while I don't have sympathy for her, I feel kind of bad.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because her face was when she saw, because she was like, I'll never tell you where Omega is. And then when she saw that they had Omega, she was like, oh, crap.
And Hemlock was like, giddy as hell too, bro.
He was smirking about it, bro. He was like, said I'd never do it. I got it. Like,
and then like the way that he like condescendingly says, maybe now you can get Nala Se
get back to work, right?
to help us. Yeah. Yeah. Yup.
Okay, so
Basically threatening Omega that like if she can't get Nalase to help them, then
yep,
she's gonna die. Yeah.
maybe you can get her to cooperate.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I think because of how smart Omega is and how she helped on a lot of the cloning, he wants her as a scientist.
You
He
think
wants to
so?
indoctrinate Omega as a forced labor scientist, just like they're doing with Nalase.
Yeah.
And the other thing, Scorch like smacked her hard on the back, dude. When they
Mm-hmm.
were like, keep moving, he just went. He didn't even say nothing. I'm pretty sure Hemlock just goes, take her to lab whatever or room this or take her to the room.
Scorch hit her hard, bro. Like
and Scorch just went bam, like right on the Omega went like straight down.
Yeah.
And Nalase still didn't say a word. Didn't say nothing because she's in shock. She's in full shock. I don't think she ever thought she would ever see Omega again. She's like, now she's at the realization of, holy crap, the Empire really is this powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They really do have these many resources to find her and find who they want to. And in my mind, I'm going, she's thinking about the Bad Batch now too.
Mm-hmm. She has to be, right?
Yeah. What happened to them? Where are they at? Like, let's go with the rest of the squad. Like, she doesn't know. She might know Tech is dead. She might not. So they bring Omega to this room and tell her to wait. And in this room, we see all of these test tubes that are human sized with like these just growing things in it, kind of like what we saw in I think it was what, chapter 14 of The Mandalorian?
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that Carl Weathers directed, where they went in, they saw the cloning tubes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's season 2. I think that was it. And so we see all these tubes, and then you see clones just lined up, all unconscious on like lab tables.
And who is the last one that she sees?
Crosshair.
Yep.
And as she's like trying to wake Crosshair up, you hear the voice of Emery, the female doctor, and we called it.
She's a clone.
We called it.
Mm-hmm.
We freaking called it, dude. We called it before anybody brought this up.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. Like, I know not enough people on YouTube are gonna like
give us credit, but
I swear to God, day one after that came out, first thing I said was that clone's voice.
That is true. Yeah.
We called that shit, dude. And she just goes, "Don't worry, Omega. We'll take good care of you. After all, you and I are sisters." Boom.
So I guess now we can like get into what we think.
Emery's gonna help him get out.
I was gonna say, do you think she's gonna help lead the clone like civil war now?
She's gonna have a hand in sabotaging what Hemlock is doing.
Yeah.
And I also have a feeling that Emery might have been around before Omega and then got accelerated aging. Or because Omega would know if there was another female clone.
Right.
He knew all the Bad Batch's names as soon as she first met them.
Mm-hmm.
She knew all their names.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling the only one she didn't know about was Alpha, which is Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
To our knowledge. So I have a feeling that Emery was around before. Or Emery was around before and was just accelerated in aging, and then they had Omega, who has less deceleration. She has a decelerated aging.
So when you said that you think that she's going to try to sabotage what Hemlock's up to, do you think that his ultimate goal is that he wants to get to the Dark Troopers?
Oh yeah, I think he wants Dark Trooper program.
Yeah.
That's going to end up being his idea, was the whole Dark Trooper program, and I have a big feeling that in Bad Batch Season 3, we're going to see a young Gideon.
You think so?
Moff Gideon is definitely in the, he's probably between 25 and 35 at the moment. Anywhere around there. Mm-hmm. Let's say he's 60 in The Mandalorian. he would be like 30 now. Let's say he's 50 in the Mandalorian, he'd be 20 something now, you know?
Right. Yeah.
He's definitely in the military because you don't get to a Moff in 20 years. It takes you a lot longer to get to Moff than, like, you have to have a record of some kind.
Yeah.
So I think there's a way that we'll see Gideon in Bad Batch season 3 that's going to connect to Mando. And it might be a connection to Mando season 3 that we haven't seen yet. Or it might be a connection to Mando season 4 when they're out, because they might do the same thing and overlap them again.
Yeah.
But my thing here is the Tech situation, because they obviously found his body.
What do you think about Tech?
These are the only clones that we know of, the Bad Batch and Omega, that are augmented like that. Well, now Emery as well. These are the only clones that we know of that are augmented and are basically mutants and like they have superpowers, basically.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't Hemlock take Tech's body and either try to resuscitate it, try to save it, try to do anything? I mean, Theory came up with a video on it. Shout out to Star Wars Theory, the man. He came up with a video on it with all the possibilities. So I go watch that video. It's like 4 minutes. But long story short, the possibilities are: he got grabbed up by a ship as he was falling. He fell in the water. He's smart enough that he found a way to hook onto something else as he was falling, because it looks like there's little thrusters on his back that are almost like R2s that could have just slowed his descent a little bit. Or he's completely dead, and Hemlock has a way to actually resuscitate him.
I think Rex got him.
That's the other one. That's the other thing, is that maybe Rex was there. Maybe Rex knew somehow, and Rex got there before him, and all they found was Tech's goggles. So it's like he's either dead or alive, but there's all these reasons as to why he could be dead or alive.
We'll find out in season 3.
But whenever someone falls into something like that, I don't think they're dead.
Yeah, and the fact that they didn't show it means that he's either dead or alive. They're leaving it up to us to theorize it.
No, they did that on purpose so that we're going to be sitting here until the next season wondering about it.
Yeah, it's like, well, because like
that's what Disney Star Wars does. That's what Dave Filoni does as well. He's done it in Clone Wars.
He did it in Avatar too, bro.
Yeah, he did it in Avatar. What was there was multiple episodes of Avatar where it ends on a cliffhanger.
Yep.
So, and Korra, especially Korra.
Yeah.
And, I mean, think about the episode where Appa got stolen in the last Airbender. And then I'm pretty sure they went on a mid-season break.
Yep.
After that, it was like you had to wait like a month and a half or something like that in between seasons.
And fans were
like the first half of season 2 and the second half of season 2.
And fans were like probably thinking, what the hell's gonna happen here?
What's gonna happen to Appa, dude? Yeah.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong down there. Somebody who's like was watching it at the same time we were when it was on TV. But yeah, he's all about cliffhangers, dude. Last season ended with the cliffhanger. I expected this season to end with the cliffhanger. And I also expect Mando to end with the cliffhanger.
Do you think the season 3 of Bad Batch will end with a cliffhanger? Or do you think the season 3 will be the last one?
No, I think they're going to keep Bad Batch going for a bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So do you think...
Too much heat on them. The Bad Batch has way too much heat on them. Now they have to go back to get Omega. They have no idea where Tantus is.
Right.
So they have to figure out where Tantus is, get there, somehow get her out of there, all this other stuff. And they might not even get that done by next season.
Yeah.
Like, we might be seeing... Like, maybe that was a cryptic thing that they said, where they said, we'll search for her as long as it takes. Because it's going to take more than one season for them to find her again.
What if there's a time skip, too?
It doesn't mean that we're not going to see her next season, because we're going to get that crosshair thing. Where next season, instead of the crosshair episodes, it'll be Omega and crosshair episodes.
Yeah.
And the other episodes will be all about the Batch.
Right.
And then maybe we get some crazy thing in the finale. And then season 4 is where they're like, okay, now we can find her.
Season 4 is the Civil War. That's
what I'm speculating, because I don't think they're going to go to Tantus unless the season 3 ends with the last words being similar to this, where they're like, we found her.
Yeah.
And then season 4 is going to be like them going together.
Yeah, and I
And
mean,
they're going to find out like Tech's alive. They might
bro,
find out next season that Tech's alive.
bro, I'm hyped for season 3. No, wait. Okay. Do you know how you theorized? Do you know how you theorized that Hemlock wants to use Crosshair as one of the dark troopers?
Yeah, one of the first Dark Troopers.
What if Dave is actually swerving us and Hemlock is actually going to use tech? That would be
even more messed up.
Yeah,
because of who Tech is as a person. What is good with my computer right now? Because of Tech as a person.
yeah.
Like this, like other than Wrecker, he's like the sweetest one out of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the most like
Nurturing.
I would say, yeah, he's like a teacher.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like Wrecker's like another, like he's like an older brother. Hunter's like a father figure. You know, Crosshair's your estranged uncle. Echo is the older brother who's kind of like stern, and then Tech is the teacher.
yeah.
So yeah, I could totally see like how it would be very messed up if they did what the Separatists did to Echo to Tech,
Mm-hmm.
and just turn him into a machine, a cyborg, and like he lost his humanity.
I'm saying I think Dave
Humanity.
I think Dave wants us to think that it's going to be it's going to be Crosshair.
I second guess everything Dave does. I
Yeah.
don't trust that mother. I don't trust him. I don't trust him one bit, because every single time, I said it last week, people, and believe it, every single time you think you know what he's doing, you're wrong. You're wrong. Every time you think you know where Dave Filoni's going, it's not there.
No, it's not.
So get ready for the Ahsoka show, because there's going to be a lot of stuff in that show where you're like, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Don't even worry about it. It's fun to speculate, but we're never really going to know. And I don't listen, I read the articles on makingstarwars.net, even though I feel a certain way about the people that run it. That's okay. To each their own. I watch, they make stuff too political sometimes, but they have good information. Well, some of their information has not been correct about the Bad Batch. There's certain people that have been, some people that haven't, but nobody got the finale right, except for the fact that Tech dies. And we all expected Tech to die like 4 or 5 episodes ago anyway.
I think Dave went out of his way to make sure that none of us got it right, because
yeah, he's like, don't ever expect a train robbery or like a train heist to be the last episode. Like,
right, yeah, or
he's like, they expect Tech to die, but not this way.
And it's like,
because he
I'm not gonna lie,
Tantus, bro. He knew. He looks. They watch.
Yeah.
Don and Dave look at the fans. They know that everybody's going to be speculating about Mount Tantus after season 2's finale, where they showed Mount Tantus. So they're like, we're going to let them speculate about all this, and then I'm going to make them real hungry. Not give it to them until next season or the season after that.
Right. Like I'm waiting for the batch to go with Rex into Tantus to do a rescue heist.
Dude, if Rex ends up being part of the Tantus thing, that's gonna be really cool.
I know. Nah, dude, Rex has to put his helmet on one last time, bro. It'd be fun.
Well, he puts it on in Rebels.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He puts it on in Rebels.
I
wish dude, they can't do this because obviously it wasn't a thing at the time. But to anybody that doesn't know, Rex is in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Because there's this guy on Endor wearing the full Endor outfit with Rex's beard, and he's got white hair, and he's the only old dude. So when season 4 of Rebels was coming out, and Rex's outfit was basically the same thing, everybody was like, that's Rex. Because beforehand in season 3, everybody was like, I don't know who came up with it first. It might have been Theory, but it might have been somebody else. who was like, this guy in Return of the Jedi looks a lot like Captain Rex. It'd be cool if that was him. And then concept art came out for season 4 of Rebels, and they dressed him up like him, kind of confirming it. So they were like, yeah, so Rex was at the Battle of Endor.
Which fits for his character, yeah.
Which is awesome, which means that Rex has survived from the Clone Wars through the Empire, fought with Han Solo, Leia, and Luke Skywalker, and saw the fall of the Empire.
And it makes sense that, like, Rex would be there because Rex was loyal to the, Republic.
He was loyal to people.
Yeah.
And he was loyal to the Jedi.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And that's what made him, after Ahsoka took the chip out, I love that line. She's like, Rex, and he just comes up with the guns and shoots past the door and kills the 2 troopers. He wasn't using stun. Bro, he straight up shot him at first. And then he switched to stun. And he goes, I'm okay, kid. I love that, dude. Even though he's younger than Ahsoka, I love that he calls her kid.
Yeah.
Like an older brother-sister type of thing. Like, it's really cool.
I love their friendship.
I love their friendship, too. Like, in Rebels, dude, I got, like, my heart, when they saw each other again, I was like, oh, my God, this is so beautiful. Because she doesn't even, I don't even think she says anything. I think she just runs up and hugs him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's just like, Rex, oh, my God. Like, it's just so cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got Ahsoka in, like, an episode of Bad Batch at some point.
That'd be cool, yo.
Dave Filoni wants to put Ahsoka everywhere, including his pants. So we're going to get Ahsoka in everything.
Which, like, I'm not going to lie to you, though.
People would complain, but do not oversaturate her. It's the same way with Vader. You don't oversaturate Ahsoka. She's the main character of Clone Wars.
That is Dave. That is Dave's, like,
well, that's why she's going to get her own show.
Prized creation, though. Like, yeah.
Well, that's why she gets her own show, but she doesn't have to be involved in every major event in the galaxy. You can't do that because she was not there during the original trilogy. She had to have been doing something else.
It made sense for her to be in Mando, but like,
yes,
but
she had to have been doing something during the original trilogy. During that what, 8 years, 9 years?
Luke's 20 at the start of A New Hope, but then he's like 28.
I think he's 28 in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to give us a reason why she was not involved at all.
Right. Yeah.
In that whole rebellion.
Yep.
She had to have been doing something with the Ghost Crew or out looking for Ezra on her own or going.
You think we're going to see that? You think that we're going to see that during her show? What she was doing?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see that in another little like Tales of the Jedi type of thing. Or a book. But we all know that Dave Filoni has no problem retconning books, so I don't think we'll get that in a book. I don't mind, dude, because like I think it works better in like.
He also is.
I don't mind you retconning some of these books because, first of all, you already destroyed my EU.
He's slowly starting to bring it back, though.
Well, yes, he is.
Yeah.
In a certain way, from a certain point of view, as Obi-Wan would say. But my opinion on that is retcon the Disney books all you want, because let's be honest, most normie Star Wars fans aren't reading them. In fact, a lot of Star Wars fans that watch all the stuff who aren't normies, who are hardcore nerds, still really aren't reading them.
I just read the Vader
comics. It doesn't really matter if you retcon it.
Yeah.
Because most people just watch the shows and the movies. And I guess that's a good segue to Mando if you're done talking Bad Batch.
Yeah, man.
Because Mando's ratings are the lowest ratings since season 1. They're lower than Kenobi. They're lower than Book of Boba Fett. They're lower than Mando season 2, and they're lower than Mando season 1.
I just wanted to ask you, what would you give the second part of the finale for Bad Batch out of 10?
Oh, good point. Not a 10 out of 10.
I think it's a 9.
Yeah, I could give it a 9. If I'm gonna rate the finale as a whole, part 1 and part 2, 8 to 8.5. Second
Yeah,
half, I'll give it a 9, and I don't give 9s out lightly. I especially don't give out 9.5s lightly, and I never give out a 10 unless it's Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
Or Revenge of the Sith.
yeah. I feel you.
Or Empire.
Right. Yeah.
Or a really damn good episode of anime. It takes a lot for me to give a 10 out because it's got to hit. It's got to be. I explained this last week, but if you missed the show last week, it has to have the impact on the fandom. It has to have the cinematography, a good story, a good plot that moves the plot forward. Not only just the story in the episode, but that moves the plot as a whole forward. Good character development and some good action.
Facts.
So in universe and out of universe, it has to have an impact on the fandom for me to give it a 10.
So
I hit all those marks. So the Mando finale of season 2 hit all those marks.
Yeah. I don't really give 10s out either. It's like very, very rare because I hold stuff up to a higher standard, I think, than most people do. And so I give everything mostly 7s or 8s. I very rarely give 9s. And I mean,
if I think something's a freaking 1, I'll give it a 1.
Yeah, like
Rings of Power is a -10.
I was nice and I gave that a 3, but like
because you can't go negative on Amazon. They still removed your comment. You didn't give it a 6, buddy. If you gave it a 6 and under, sorry, your opinion's invalid. All right, this is Star Wars talk. Don't get me started on Rings of Power. Everybody knows. Don't get me started on Rings of Power. Lord of the Rings, though. Lord of the Rings. All extended editions. To me, 10 out of 10.
That's
the
fair.
Only thing they had to leave out from those movies was like certain things that wouldn't have really worked in the movie from the book.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they were the best adaptations of novels I've ever seen. Yeah. I'll give them a 10 out of 10. And it's really hard for me to give something a 10 out of 10.
So I guess we should just start with like, what would you give the most recent episode of Mando? Because I think I'm gonna be generous here. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
I was gonna give it a 6. For episode 5, man. I mean, watching the Mandos all show up on Navarro was dope.
Yeah.
But let's like break down the episode, right? So let's start with Carson. No, it starts with the pirates showing up.
Yes. Yeah.
Contacting Grief Karga and attacking Navarro, which we knew was going to be episode 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that happens. We're like, yeah, we kind of expected that. Didn't expect Grief Karga and all his civilians to just start walking into the lava flats, but I guess that's understandable. The thing I thought was cool about when the ship appeared was the bombardment was very similar to me from Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah, kind of.
When Jack is in prison in the very beginning of the movie and the Black Pearl shows up in the harbor of Port Royal and just start to lighting up the city for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I felt about it. And, then it cuts, goes back to like Mando, or what does it goes to Carson Tever, right?
Yeah.
The pilot. And he's on that planet. And then we get to see Zeb. That was sick.
Yes.
That was sick because here's been the speculation for so long about the Ahsoka show is if Zeb's in it, how are they going to do Zeb? Is he going to be CGI or is he going to be a puppet? And I'm glad they went with the CGI because it looks damn good.
It does, yeah.
It looks damn good.
I think that, like, Grogu works as a puppet, but Zeb had to be CGI.
You can't practical effect Zeb, dude.
Yeah.
Like it would have had to mix CGI with practical effects, which would have cost you so much more. And I think that they just made the CGI look perfect.
Yes.
It looked really, really damn good.
Yeah.
Now, Do they have the budget to continue to make him look that good in other shows? I don't know. If that was a one-off, I'm going to be annoyed. Because to me, that's a setup for me seeing him again.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the only time I'm ever going to see Zeb in live action, then I'm mad.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I want to see Zeb in live action. I love Zeb.
Zeb is awesome.
Zeb is one of the best characters in Rebels. He has an amazing arc. He befriends Callus, which now give me Agent Callus then. I want to see Callus too.
Mm-hmm.
I want Callus to be part of the Ahsoka show because he becomes a rebellion commander.
Ezra is definitely going to be in the Ahsoka show.
Yeah.
For sure.
Had to not be the last damn episode, but yeah. And then, honestly, I thought it was cool that Grief Karga reached out to Carson Tever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, all right, I'm going to go get help because, you know, you're a friend of mine. So I'm going to go back to the Republic and get some help. And then we get, what's his name, who plays the same character and everything. The guy who's the Imperial or the Rebellion, like, dude at the desk.
Oh.
I forget the actor's name, but he plays the same character. He's in the Goldbergs. He's in that
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's in that new movie with Adam Driver.
Yeah.
He's like in everything. He plays the same type of dude.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I can't believe he's in this. Like he's funny. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, this guy's literally he's playing the same character from Goldbergs, and that's fine. That's totally cool. I haven't watched that show in years anyway. And he got his own spinoff apparently or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like him as an actor. I thought it was cool. I just wish they would give him more range to play different types of characters.
Right. Yeah.
And then we get, what's her name? Somebody said it earlier, dude.
Who are you referring to?
G28.
Oh.
The Imperial girl who works.
Yeah.
G28 has a name. It's like Alaya. I think it's Alaya. Yes. Alaya San or something like that. And you see Alaya, and she's obviously like she's obviously up to something. Like she's coming in to interrupt on purpose. She comes in, she's like, "Can I get you anything from the cafeteria?" You know? And then he's like, "You served with Moff Gideon, didn't you? You served in the Outer Rim."
Mm-hmm.
And then Carson's like, "I don't trust this woman." And he's like, "There's something growing out there, and you're not doing anything about it. But when it shows its face, or something along those lines, we're going to be screwed."
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves and goes back to his, X-Wing. Somehow finds where Mando's at. I thought this was so dumb. I'm sorry, dude. I thought that was so dumb.
No, like, how did he find Mando? Like,
he goes, one of your covert members used to work for the Rebellion. Used to serve with me in the Rebellion. And it's R5D4. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that is like, first of all, how does Carson know that Mando has R5D4?
right.
How would he know?
Right.
He's never seen Mando with a droid like that. So unless at one point R5D4, while on Tatooine, contacted Carson Dever before he was bought by Mando to say, "Hey, I saw this dude as a Mandalorian," and then Carson Dever was like, "Oh, yo, I saw that dude too on this snow planet, and I shot some spiders for him," and they were
right.
shooting the shit. Then how else would they know that they know each other?
Yeah.
Unless they're pen pals. Like, and then he's like, what, do they just keep in contact every week? They're like, "What's up, dude? How's your week going?" "Oh, dude, I'm with the Mandalorian now. We're on this planet. There's a giant crocodile. Some kid just got eaten by a bird. It's nuts, bro." It doesn't make sense. Like, I thought it was going to be that he still had Mando's contact somehow, or he had his chain code,
Mm-hmm.
or he had something that he could be like, "Okay, I know where Mando's at," because he's found him multiple times through his transponder.
They could at least just give a little bit of, like,
so Mando's ship is there. Mando's ship is there. It should have been as simple as, "You didn't turn your transponder off, dumbass."
Right, yeah.
Something like that would have been better than, "Oh, yeah, this droid from A New Hope that Mando bought 20 years later, well, 18, 20 years later, or no, 10 years later, is the homie now. Like,
Yeah.
he never. When did he serve? And how did he go from being on Tatooine to back on Tatooine? Would you sell him back? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. That is the dumbest explanation. And I'm sorry. I love this show, dude, but that is such a bad explanation. It's like Mando falling into the water in episode 2. It's like it doesn't make sense.
It's
like,
getting to like
I get him dropping in the water, but how did he get knocked out when he had a pressurized helmet on? How? Like the better explanation would have been something pulled me. Did you see anything down there? Was it a creature or something? No, I didn't see anything. I just got pulled down to the bottom. Way better explanation than he fell and I dragged him out. Like, it doesn't make.
This is getting to like the CW type of like writing.
I know, and this is The Mandalorian, your flagship show, dude. Like this, we don't even have a villain yet. There's 3 episodes left, dude.
We know it's Gideon, but
do we though? Because now they've set up this whole other thing at the end of the episode.
Yeah, true.
Like, so we continue. They end up getting contacted, or Carson's just like, bro, we're homies. Just letting you know, your friend's in trouble because the New Republic ain't doing jack. So they're like, all right, we're going to go to Navarro. We're going to take out these pirates. We're going to help our friend Grief Karga. So that's a cool scene. There's not really much to explain there other than everybody being a badass.
Right, yeah.
For like 10 minutes. Once they show up and Bo-Katan's dropping them off and Mando's flying around distracting the cruiser, the pirate ship. And everybody on the ground, team 1, team 2. I love seeing them work like that. We're like, team 1, moving in. And they would like move and then like team 2 just landed. You know what I mean? Like, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool. So they basically like the thing that bothered me about that scene, the only thing that bothered me about the Mando's retaking Navarro was the armorer, dude. How she doesn't have a jetpack, so how'd she drop in? And she also only is using the hammer and the tongs to kill 4 people that don't hear the first guy doesn't hear the second. The first guy gets killed, the second guy doesn't hear it. Second guy gets killed, the third guy doesn't hear it. All standing next to each other. The 4th guy turns around and just gets smacked in the face and falls off. I'm like, one of the guys she killed with the tongs, she just grabbed them and smashed them on the ground. It's like, but why not just boom, 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 boom? Would that not have been more efficient? Also, how did they not hear anybody get like it? The writing has suffered, my friend. The writing has suffered this season, and I can see why there's a drop off in the viewership, and if they need to get their writing back on track,
and like
we're back on track,
and like the thing is that they can't blame anybody but themselves now either. It's like you kind of had
agree on that point.
Well, it's like in 2020 and 2021, you could kind of a little bit blame COVID, but now you can't blame. Now it's all on them again.
Well, yeah, it also they fired Gina Carano. That brought a lot of people out, and then they waited. Let's see, 2.5 years to drop season 3.
How long's it been done for?
Well, I don't even know how long it's been done. But when you don't have a show that's that big, that's supposed to be your flagship show, out for 2.5 years with barely any announcements until the summer before when you finally know the release date, people are going to fall off, dude. And then to boot, for episode 1, nobody who watched Book of Boba Fett is like, where the hell is Grogu? Why is he here?
Right. Yeah.
So some people were instantly turned off by that. They were like, no payoff? How do you get back with him? I have to go watch a whole nother show to figure this out?
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes were made. It's that simple.
I think them doing the Book of Boba that actually screwed them over. Like,
no, they shouldn't have put the Mando episode of Grogu in the Book of Boba.
Right, yeah.
You could put Mando himself in Book of Boba. You don't need Grogu for it.
You put him training with Luke in Mando season 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sparingly.
Yeah.
Like do it the same way we got the flashback with Ahmed Best of Grogu being saved. Do it that way. Have Mando do something, and then for like 5 minutes have Grogu training with Luke in one episode, and then do it for like the next 2 episodes, and then have Mando show up and give him the chainmail at the end of episode 2 or something, and then completely cut the fact that Luke goes and drops him back on Tatooine. Or maybe before Mando goes back with the group of the Watch, maybe he's chilling out with Boba Fett for a little bit.
I'm saying
Luke knows where he's at, so then Luke just sends Grogu there, and we get that way.
I don't think anybody would have minded if you had like extended the season and made it like 10 episodes and not 8. Yeah,
nobody would have cared.
Yeah,
nobody would have cared. But at this point, we're 5 episodes in. We have 3 left. Don't know who the villain is. If Moff Gideon is not in the episode tonight, people are gonna flip.
Mm-hmm.
The episode tonight is supposed to be 44 minutes.
That's a long episode. Yeah.
If it's not a banger and doesn't really push the plot forward from this point, that drop off is gonna get a lot lower, dude.
Yeah, I think so.
It's gonna get a lot lower. Like when you see Star Wars Theory make a video on the fact that it's not doing good, like everybody's making videos on it, that's not a good sign.
I mean,
you
like,
can see it when you look at, if you go back and look at the top chat of Mando season 2 when Theory's watching it at 3 a.m, and then you look at the top chat now, it's like 2,000 down from what it was last season.
I was watching. I think it was.
It's sad, but it's undeniable. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just giving you the actual data and facts.
I'm not saying that you're hating. No.
I would say that to everybody listening. I'm not trying to hate on it. I love this show, and I'm going to watch every single episode of it, whether there's 3 seasons or 10. But,
I saw, X-Wing. He went live like maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and I saw him say, Bad Batch is better than Mando, and I think that's true. Yeah,
I think I would have to agree with it this season.
Yeah,
without anybody would expect that.
Right.
It's the same thing with Andor being better than Kenobi.
I never saw that coming. I never saw that coming, bro. No,
nobody did.
No,
nobody did.
Nope.
Andor season 2 is gonna slap though.
For sure. No, but like, I did not see Andor blowing Kenobi, like, out of the water. Like,
well, it didn't do better in ratings. It did better with the fans.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it didn't do better in ratings because Kenobi made everybody go, screw you.
Right.
Yep. So it didn't do better with the ratings, but the people that did watch it were like, holy crap, this is the best thing since Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Or since Mando season 1, or since Clone Wars season 7. Like, yeah, Andor is a great show if you have patience and you can watch a show with 12 episodes like that.
Yeah.
Like the people that say, oh, the first 3 episodes are way too slow, I get where you're coming from. But
it picks up after like episode 4.
Anybody who's watched anime knows that the first 10 to 20 episodes of a long anime are slow. Look at Naruto. You get one banger, and then it's like slow, like 4 episodes about them chasing a cat.
No, listen. Remember season 1 of Naruto when, they were fighting on that, like, bridge, bro? The Zabuza bridge fight was like 15 episodes.
That's like 10 to 15 episodes into the show, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have to get through all this like slow drudging, a little bit of training, not much flashback, a little bit of stuff. Like it'll grip you in the first episode, and then it's slow. You don't like tell me you haven't watched a Naruto arc that's slow as shit.
A lot of the fillers, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing with any long anime. So anybody who's watched anime knows that there's some arcs that are slow. Anybody who's watched Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, you know that there's some episodes that have no fighting in it, and it's entirely dialogue.
There were even some Clone Wars episodes that were slow. Like
there's a lot of Clone Wars episodes that were slow.
Yeah.
And like if I can watch Andor because I know it's about building it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just going to be slow the whole time. Now, if it was extremely slow by episode 6, I might have been like giving that show a lower rating. But after the Eye in episode 5,
it picks up.
And then 6, which I think was some of the best CGI in Star Wars, the Eye.
Mm-hmm.
When, you know, spoiler alert, cool constellations. That's all I'm going to say. Meteor strikes, constellations. Looks dope. Not constellations, Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights, and meteors at the same time. Pretty damn cool looking.
It was cool.
And comets, that's what it was. So, like, that was some of the best CGI I've ever seen. And after that, I was like, and that episode was damn good. The heist was really cool.
And it wasn't filmed in the volume either, which is
that's the other thing. It wasn't filmed in the volume, and it got a higher budget than Kenobi. Like, your show, that's your flagship, should probably be Kenobi. As good as Mando season 1 and 2 are, and as like if you enjoyed Book of Boba Fett, which I enjoyed it for what it was, and I enjoyed Kenobi for what it was, even though it was bastardization. I can still say that looking at it from out here, if I'm a Disney executive, I'm going, what are Star Wars fans really going to love?
They don't care about that.
Are they really going to... I know they don't, but what I'm saying is...
Yeah.
When you look at Star Wars, the first thing you think about is Darth Vader, a Stormtrooper, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, or Yoda.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe Boba Fett.
Or Leia, yeah.
Well, no. I'm saying in general.
Oh, well, yeah.
When someone says to somebody else, Star Wars,
even I hear Yoda.
Who's not a fan of Star Wars, they're going to think of Vader's helmet or Stormtrooper helmet first, right?
Yes.
So it's sure that you got Hayden Christensen back in, and you got Ewan McGregor back in. You don't give it the highest production value ever and give it a great story.
They should have just made it a movie.
What they should have done is, while these actors are young, make it Kenobi, but make it a whole arc during the Clone Wars we don't know about. How? Boom! It's right there. Everybody would have been eating that up.
And like,
they're still young enough that you could pull that off.
And like, they also brought in a
Shout out to Ryan Kennel for saying that.
They also brought in a super old James Earl Jones to, like, you know, say some lines over again. Like,
yeah, I mean, like,
listen,
it's just the fact that Andor was great and it was the best written. But the problem is, it's a character that nobody knows except for hardcore Star Wars fans who watched Rogue One and liked him. Or
right, yeah.
Like, so it's not going to draw in the normies like Kenobi or Vader would.
Exactly, yeah.
Would. So why are you giving the highest production value to a character, which I'm not complaining again because the show looks immaculate, but I'm saying
the show was great, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just the brain dead Hollywood executive.
Kenobi got no budget.
Look at it. Look at it this way. They build up Mando and Grogu, right? Those are Disney-made characters.
Yeah.
They detriment Luke Skywalker, except for in Mando Season 2. They detriment Luke Skywalker, Han, Leia, Chewie, Lando. Then they go to Boba Fett. Then they go to Vader and Kenobi. And they did Palpatine. And then they're boosting up Andor. And now they're boosting up more Disney-made characters. Kylo Ren said it best, and this is how Disney thinks. Let the past die and kill it if you have to. And if the last 2 years of Star Wars shows haven't proven to you that that's what some of those people think, you gotta look a little bit harder.
I don't like The Last Jedi, but I kind of always loved that line for some weird reason. Like,
yeah, but it was the symbolism of that line, because in that movie they literally killed the past. They killed Luke Skywalker. They killed Leia.
mm-hmm.
They literally killed the past. They got rid of the rebellion. It's the resistance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They literally killed the past and then continued to do it.
I
They have not stopped.
I think that these people in charge of Disney do not understand that, like, yes, okay, you have Mando, cool. Mando is super popular. Like, you know, there are people that, like, you know, I talk to that, like, don't know anything about Star Wars, but then you know, they will say Baby Yoda's cute. And
that's why, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
They're focusing too much on Grogu.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I have a life-size Grogu in the other room. Mm-hmm. But I don't really care about him as much as I care about Obi-Wan Kenobi and Vader, dude. Hell, I care more about Andor than I do about him at the moment. Like, I don't hate Grogu. I like him. I like his character. But as soon as they brought him back in Season 3, or in Book of Boba Fett, it completely ruins, to me, at least. I wouldn't say completely, but it diminishes the impact of Season 2.
Yeah, it does.
Jaren is crying because he thinks he's never going to see Grogu again, and he takes his helmet off for this kid. And Luke Skywalker shows up to take this kid to go train.
He learned to let go. Yeah.
Naturally, we would expect that we don't see him until Season 3 at some point, just return out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Like, that's what everybody was expecting.
He's still a baby, too.
You absolutely subverted expectations in the worst way by doing that. And then you didn't even have the brain power to put a flashback in the beginning of the season to show what happened in Book of Boba Fett. Because here's the thing. Nobody who's there for Baby Yoda, Grogu, is going to watch 3 episodes of Boba Fett, 4 episodes of Boba Fett, and then watch episode 5, 6, and 7 of it. So, like, when I have people asking me, I go, just watch episodes 5, 6, and 7 of Book of Boba Fett.
You can't,
like, that'll blame it all for you. I even said, don't even watch 5. I'm like, don't even watch 5, because then you're just going to hear the Armorer have the same conversation with him at the first episode of Season 3 that they had, what, a while ago? Like I talked about.
I can't even blame
this all the way back on episode 7 or chapter 17 on the Season 1, episode 1. I talked about this.
We can't even finish
with the episode though.
Well, in fairness, there's not really that much more to it though.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like basically Mando's save everybody. And then Grief Karga's like, you guys can have everywhere from here to something lava flats. Uh-huh. You guys can live there, and you're always going to be part of Navarro, and I've landed you all gentry now. You know what I mean? Like, so they're all like, all right, we'll stay. And then Paz Viz is like, the Armorer wants to come see you. It's a Bo-Katan, right? And then like she's talking to her or whatever. She's like, you've walked both sides of the path. You're the only one that can go and, you know, reunite all of the Mandalorians, you know, so on and so forth, right? So then she walks out with her helmet off, and everyone's like, why does she not wear a helmet? I would be like, yo, she can just not wear her helmet, but you're telling all of us to keep up. Yo!
I would take mine off.
I feel like at that point, like, she's going to go girl boss her way through the galaxy, and she's going to go and, like, try and reunite people. I think if Mando doesn't go with her, then Mando's going to go and hit up Boba.
You think so?
Yeah. I think he's going to go and hit up Boba because something's going to happen where they find out about the Empire or something. He's gonna go hit Boba up. Just be like, yo, like, because that would make sense. He's friends with Boba, Fennec, and that whole group. He just helped save Mos Espa. So you would think that Boba would definitely help Mando again. Because that's kind of how their friendship works. It's like an eye for an eye type of thing. It's like, well, you gave me my armor back, so I'll help you save the baby. Oh, but you helped save my city, so I'll help you save the Mandalorians. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it looks to me. And my main predictions for that is basically that if Mando doesn't go with Bo, then he's gonna go and find Boba Fett for some reason. And then we get to the end of the episode where Carson Tever, the X-Wing pilot, is just flying through space, and he finds a derelict Lambda-class shuttle blown out from the side, which, bro, how does anyone survive that? How'd they get Moff Gideon out of there when everybody else in the crew's dead? Unless he had some sort of mask on. They have to show it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they pulled up, docked to the ship, and then just blew out the other side of it. I don't know. But we found Beskar in there. So now the possible implication is that Mandalorians broke him out, but I think it was a different faction of Mandalorians, and/or they were placing Beskar there on purpose, because we know the Empire has Beskar. So they placed Beskar there on purpose. But here's the dumb thing about that. Because if the New Republic now thinks that the Mandalorian or Mandalorians in general were the ones who broke Moff Gideon out, yeah, let me just think about season 2 when the Mandalorian captured and defeated Moff Gideon and delivered him with 2... So yeah, the guy who beat Moff Gideon and arrested him for you and then gave him to Cara Dune to bring to you is the guy that's going to go break him out? Is that what you're implying? Because that doesn't make any sense.
This is some like...
So I'm hoping that's not what they're implying. I'm hoping they're implying it's a different faction of Mandalorians, or it's a cover.
This is some like the Flash type of like writing or something. Like
it's sad because the writing was so much better in season 1 and 2. It's like they lost the momentum or something. That's why I'm saying if they don't release season 4 in 2024, that drop off is going to be huge, man.
Yeah, it is.
That drop off is going to be huge. And I want to be so positive about this show. I hope that this week on Sunday, we are having a conversation about how awesome Mando was this week.
For real. Yeah, same.
Like, that's the goal every week.
It's not like we want to come on
we're
here.
Critics, we're Star Wars fans. We're going to critique everything.
I think it's not that we want to come on here and say, this is bad. This sucks.
I didn't say it's bad.
Right. No.
I'm just saying it's not up to par.
I'm saying I think that we don't want to come on here and say that we don't like things. Like,
no, we want to come on here and tell everybody we love it. Like, I wish I could come on here and tell you about how much I love the Rings of Power.
But we owe it to you guys to tell you what we think is the truth. Yeah.
If we're not honest with you, then what's the point of doing this? If we're going to sit here and lie to you guys all the time and say, oh, it's the best episode ever, 10 out of 10, so good all the time. It doesn't make any sense. So you guys are getting the realest of the real with us, and that's what we like to provide for you. Because we feel like we're disingenuous if we do anything else.
Exactly, yeah.
Very disingenuous.
And there's nothing wrong with saying that you think that an episode's a 6. There is literally nothing wrong with
saying that you think this episode was a 10. There's nothing wrong with you saying you think this episode was a 0.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. That's up to you. That's your opinion.
Right. Yeah.
So our opinions are this episode was like a 6.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be when it's the 5th episode of an 8-episode season. If it was a 10-episode season, I'd be like, it was a 6. But now I'm worried. Now I'm like, where are we going? We have 3 episodes left for you to clear a ton of stuff up. So that's why I'm like, cliffhanger. Gonna be cliffhanger. Cliffhanger ending. Calling it now. Cliffhanger ending. Nothing's gonna get resolved.
They're
if
gonna
we
wait.
get Gideon into the last episode, dude, people are gonna be up in arms. It's gonna be bad.
I think we'll get Gideon in this episode.
Even if it's just the last 10 minutes to explain something or 5 minutes to explain something, you need to do it. You need to do it. You got 44 minutes here.
I would love a whole like episode about Gideon. That'd be nice.
Half and half.
Yeah.
So I did hear a bit of rumors about this episode, and I won't get into spoilers. My bird's loud. I have outdoor birds that I feed. They're super loud because they're chilling. But
they're not bothering me.
All right, as long as it's not super loud because they're squeaky and I don't know how my audio sounds.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
My point being is, again, if we had 10 episodes, I'd be totally fine with an entire episode about Gideon.
Yeah.
And what happens with him and his route to trial, what he's thinking on his route to trial, and then him getting, extracted.
Right.
Now, you can cut that down to like 12 minutes in the beginning of this next episode. Cut that down to even lower, 5 to 10 minutes of just him sitting there en route to trial, and then he gets broken out. That's cool. That works with me. Just show me how it happens. Because to me right now, blowing the side out of a Lambda-class shuttle would suck him out and suck everybody else out too.
Facts.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, show it.
That just might be what,
that is the cardinal rule. That's the cardinal rule of movie making and TV show making.
Show, don't tell. Don't tell works sometimes, but not in this case.
No. Show works all the time.
Yeah.
Don't tell works until you show.
Right. Yeah.
That's the only time don't tell doesn't work or does work.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't tell us, it makes us speculate. It makes us think about things. And then you show.
Exactly.
And then it makes us go, oh, I see now. Because the don't show and the tell instead, telling is the foreshadowing for the show. You get what I'm saying?
We're not professional writers either, guys. It's just like we just
have common sense and we know how good movies work.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't tell us I always use Lord of the Rings. They don't tell us in Lord of the Rings out of nowhere, like, maybe they do. Maybe that was a bad thing for me to come up with. When
it came to Mando season 2, like it kind of seemed like Luke was in the X-wing, but you didn't really know.
That's a show.
Until they showed his hand.
And how impactful was that?
Until they showed his hand.
If Cara Dune looked over and went, "That's Luke Skywalker's X-wing."
Yeah.
Everybody would be like, everybody would still freak out, but it was the suspense of not telling and showing.
Yeah.
So again, the cardinal rule is to show and not tell. Because if you're, watching an episode of something, and the episode before it looks like someone died or something like that, and then you come back to the next episode and they're like, "Oh yeah, they went out like a badass. They were really cool. And they, they killed a couple people and they saved us." You'd be like, "Why didn't I see that?
Right?
Why didn't you show me that?"
Yeah. Right.
Or even a good example that was in this season, and we know why they couldn't show. But a good example of that is, Cara Dune is transporting, she sent Moff Gideon to the Republic and he's being transported to trial, and she went and joined the special ops, and Gina Carano didn't get fired, you wouldn't have to do that. And second of all, if she didn't get fired, you would have shown us that. That's a great example of show, don't tell. And Star Wars is really good at telling you instead of showing you things right now under Disney.
Yeah. Yep. imagine if like at the start of Empire, they basically told you that Vader was like Luke's dad. Then when you like get to the end of the movie, you wouldn't have felt the same sort of an impact.
Yeah.
Like, because like Luke finds out when we find out. But
exactly.
But if we had known before him, we wouldn't have felt what he was feeling. So I think that's an important thing, is that.
Or another similar thing, again, this one works with Lord of the Rings, is Frodo at the end.
Right.
You don't, the whole time, you don't see Frodo going, like, he says, the ring's getting stronger, Sam, it's heavy and stuff like that. But you don't see him, you don't ever hear him tell you the ring is starting to corrupt me.
Uh-huh.
He just says, I feel its power, I feel strong.
And you can see his face.
Like and that. And then you see him at one point looking at the ring. That's a show. That's foreshadowing for later. In Return of the King, when he's about to toss in the fire and you see him turn around and he's got a completely different face. That is a show. They don't even have to tell you that Frodo turned and the ring finally took control of him.
They show you, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And it's the perfect way of doing that.
Which is something that Mando did, but
they're not doing this season at all. And they're just telling us stuff, and I don't want to be told that. At the end of that episode, I don't want Carson Tever to come up on it. I want to see Moff Gideon get broken out in the beginning of said episode, and at the end, Carson Tever comes in and finds it.
Exactly, yeah. Right.
Or she better show it next episode. Because people aren't going to wait until the last episode. If it's going to be the same thing that happened with Season 1 and Season 2, where you don't see Moff Gideon until the last 2 episodes, bro, he's gotten like no character development.
Yeah, right.
Evil Imperial, who wants Grogu for God knows why. We assume some sort of cloning or something, or his blood or whatever. But we don't get anything out of it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So he has like no character development right now, which is why I would love to see him pop up in like Bad Batch or anything else to give me some sort of context of like what his plan is, what he's doing. Because the mystery itself right now is just like I don't care, because now I'm more worried about Thrawn than I am Gideon. As much as I love Giancarlo Esposito playing Moff Gideon, like I'm over the Grogu like blood stuff or whatever it is now, because you haven't explained enough of it to me. Yes, they want him. Okay, until you tell me why they want him, they just want him. All I know right now is Thrawn's in the unknown region somewhere, and I'm waiting for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I've said before, Gideon's a small little minnow, and Thrawn's a megalodon.
Yep. Thrawn is coming though, Roland, so
hopefully in the right way.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just asked by the Discord if we're doing a watch party tonight. Of course we are. 3 a.m., boys. 3 a.m. Oh, boy, 3 a.m. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. And I know we got a little bit of a tangent there, but I hope you guys can see what the point that we're making is. And just the fact that we really just want this show to be good so the show continues.
Right, yeah.
I don't want the ratings to drop, because I know they have a lot planned for us and a lot in store that will make this all work out and will all look good in the end, is what my optimism is. But if the ratings are this low, Disney's not going to care, and they're going to go, Lucasfilm, figure something else out, because we're not going to keep giving you the highest budget for Mando if it's not making the money back.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just like, so they need to get it together for that reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because
again, I'm not saying I've disliked. I haven't given any one of these episodes lower than a 6.
Yeah.
This season.
Which Which
arguably I could have. And I said I'm not going to fully judge the season till it's over.
Just so
could be bangers.
Just so that you guys know, when I give something a 6, I still like it. It's just not like, my most favorite thing in the whole world.
Of course.
But
it's like when you go and see a movie and you're like, that was fun, but I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That
was a fun flick. I enjoyed that.
It's just something to take my mind off things for 45 minutes or something. It's
bring me into Star Wars for 45 minutes, but the problem is it's Star Wars for us. So we're automatically critical.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like that's the problem with being a Star Wars fan or pretty much anybody in a big fandom, whether you're DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Halo, whatever it is, any gaming franchise. You're gonna have people that love it, you're gonna have the people that hate it, and you're gonna have the people in the middle that are like, I really want to freaking love this, but I can't not critique it. And I give it its praises and I critique it. Like I gave this episode its praises. I said I thought the fighting with all the Mandalorians was dope. The one part that ruined it for me was the armorer killing people with those sticks and nobody hearing it. Like, if some people heard it, I wouldn't have cared as much. But again, I'm still going to think to myself, why did she not just go in there and blast them with 2 Mandalorian pistols?
Right, yeah.
Like, so I'm thinking in the Star Wars universe here, and it's almost like they're trying to make this more normie-ish in a way. No offense to my normies out there. We love you. We love you more than some of our own Star Wars fans, I'll tell you that. No, I'm kidding. Not our Star Wars fans in our fandom. But I don't know, man. I think Bad Batch blew it away in that last episode. At 9 out of 10. I think Mando needs to really pick it up tonight. Or, I don't know.
You guys will hear on Sunday.
You guys will hear on Sunday, of course, and I'm sure you'll watch it yourselves. And I want to see your comments down below what you guys thought about the episodes last week. And then you can, let us know on Sunday what you thought as well.
Yeah, of course.
Because I want to hear the feedback from you guys. I want to see what you guys think about this. And again, shout out to our friend Chance, who texted me and he just goes, I hate Star Wars right now. And I said, can you give me that's a broad question. So why? Because there's a lot of reasons you could hate Star Wars right now. He goes, text Ed. And I was like, yep, see, I get it. Like he was bad about that. And that's understandable. Like it was a joke, I'm sure. But at the same time, I get it. But that just goes to prove how impactful Bad Batch is right now, and Mando's not.
Which is something that I never thought I would ever hear.
Was in episode 4. I don't know how you go from episode 4 that was like that had that great scene with Grogu to episode 5 where you have like a couple scenes that I really liked, and the rest of it's kind of like whatever. And I'm always gonna love Carl Weathers' acting, but as Grief Karga,
I love Carl Weathers no matter like what he's in. Like it's
absolutely.
He's awesome in Rocky, and he is great in Mando. So
he's great in pretty much everything. He's a good director too.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping that these next 3 episodes are bangers, and I'm hoping that we see that Mythosaur again at some point. Unless they're setting up the Mythosaur for season 4, but I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a possibility, but I don't know, man.
I'm also going to be kind of pissed if the Mythosaur is the finale and it's not Gideon or not the Empire. Like I'm kind of going to be annoyed. Like I want to see the Mythosaur. Don't get me wrong. And I want to see them all somehow tame the thing. But if they end the final episode and it's them like going to get the Mythosaur and that has nothing to do with the Empire or it ends on an Empire cliffhanger.
This man's going to call me at 4:30.
I'm not going to call you because I know when you sleep, I'm going to text you. I'm going to be like, bruh. That's it. If I say bruh, no, I won't even say it because you'll know. You'll know that something went down.
Yeah, because Well, yeah, because like I watched the episodes, the like you
The
watch it at
morning
like
after.
3 a.m. I watch it at like 7. So yeah.
Yeah, I
But
usually just text you when I wake up and say, how is it?
yeah. But nah, like I think when it comes to the final episode, if you send me a frowny face, I know it ended with the mythosaur.
I'm not going to
And
send you the frowny face. I'm going to let you watch it first, and you can send me the frowny face.
all right, bet.
Because I'll already have one. Unless it's the most badass thing I've ever seen and makes perfect sense for a finale, then I'm cool with it. And if
Right.
it sets up something really cool for the next season, then I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But if there's like barely any, like it just, I'm worried, guys. I'm being cautiously optimistic about this season because in the Star Wars community, there's a lot of us that still love The Mandalorian. There's a lot of people that are like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm not trying to be one of those people because everybody knows that I love Star Wars more than anything in any franchise. So I don't want to be that guy because I love this to death. I've been watching Star Wars since I was 2 years old. I have like, look at my freaking wall, dude. Like, I don't want to be the guy who says I don't like Mandalorian season 3. I really don't. But I will be honest with you. I will be fully honest with you. If when the finale comes out and I don't like this season, I don't like what they've done, I'll be fully honest with that. And if I absolutely love it because they nailed it out of the park with the last 3 episodes, then I'll tell you that too. But I'll still give it its do's and don'ts, its pros and cons. I'm never like, unless it's another Luke Skywalker 10 out of 10 episode, they're gonna have to try really damn hard because I don't know how they're gonna top that. A mythosaur doesn't top Luke Skywalker. I'm sorry. A mythosaur is badass, but that doesn't top Luke Skywalker. You got to give me something really cool. Give me the mythosaur messing up, like taking down Imperial ships out of the air.
Yeah.
Like smacking a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Just give me something really cool. And I hope that this happens. I hope that if they go after the mythosaur, it's either the end of this episode tonight, if it's not Gideon at some point, and it's the beginning of 7. And then by 8, we have that resolved, and it's something to do with Mandalore, or something to do with Navarro, or something to do with Gideon, and that's it.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and what do we really think Grogu's going to get captured again?
You know what? It wouldn't shock me at this.
It wouldn't shock me. But I heard rumors that Moff Gideon's going to show up in a Mandalorian helmet. And I told you a couple weeks ago that I have a feeling that maybe he was born on Mandalore. So maybe he was one of the Maul DeLoreans. Which could be very interesting.
It could be, yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed, bro. Fingers crossed. Indeed.
And by the way, guys, this is the last week until the Bad Batch returns that I will be wearing the bandana. Once they come up with a different one.
When does the Bad Batch come back? Do you know?
No idea. Season 3 hasn't even been announced, but it's obvious it's going to be one.
Imagine it just gets canceled. I'd be so mad.
It won't. It's Dave Filoni's pet project. It's not getting canceled. Hey, I mean, you'll probably see me wear this sometimes on live streams because it's kind of fun. You'll probably see me wear it on John's at points and times and stuff like that. Maybe even here if I'm feeling like it that day. But this is my Bad Batch headband, so I wear it for Bad Batch.
It's dope. Yeah.
I started with the Mando helmet next week. But
it's dope, bro.
Or I guess this upcoming Sunday.
Yes, sir.
But one more thing I wanted to throw out there is the Jedi Survivor.
Oh, the gameplay looks sick.
So I want to show a little bit of that real quick. Just like a couple parts.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I know I could show it. I'm going to mute the audio.
I want to turn my light on so that y'all can see my ugly mug. It's actually getting dark in here.
Here we go. Boop, 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 boop.
I like, especially where where like we live, it's not getting dark outside now until like 8. It's nice.
Oh, it's great, man. I'm on YouTube. You want to work for me? Of course. There's gonna be an ad, so don't share my screen yet.
I'm not.
Let's go. Okie dokie smoky. We got it all pulled up. And I'm just gonna skip through this video.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bombastic for putting this together. He's a great dude.
Can I or am I like good
to... So we start with like there's some gameplay here. Like this is all for the second Jedi game. So from Jedi Fallen Order, we're now in Jedi Survivor, and I gotta say it looks so much better. Yes, that is a jungle wampa.
Should I throw it up now?
Yes.
Okay.
Toss it on up there.
All right.
Let's go. Let's show these people what they want. This game comes out at the end of the month. It's going to be amazing. I've heard people say it's one of the best Star Wars games, if not the best they've ever played.
Wow. That's a high it's a very high bar.
So some YouTubers were thrown out here to enjoy it. Look at this, man.
Yeah, hey.
You got mounts. I'll go a little bit farther. They got the wall running back, of course.
Rolo, the look at how beautiful this game looks, bro.
Oh yeah, that's my boy Bombastic there. He's just talking about it. This guy has been confirmed to be the same race as Dirge from the original Clone Wars.
Really?
If you remember the bounty hunter that's just made of tentacles that like wraps around Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Same race here, so that'll be a real interesting boss fight.
Interesting.
So now this is the cantina, and what you're gonna like about the cantina is that this is your base of operations. So you can actually come in here and customize a lot of this shit. They have Star Wars freaking Spotify. This droid right here, you can get him in a quest, and he will actually go back to the cantina and has a playlist with different artists that you can choose from to play music in your cantina, which I think is just fun.
So he's basically your aux, huh?
In a way, yes. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit more, but look at this. Look at this. You're gonna like this. You're gonna like this.
I didn't see this. I saw the trailer, but
well, yeah, this is brand new. Look at this.
What?
Wait. It's a freaking Rancor.
A Rancor?
And it's not even, it's just a mini boss. Yo, what is this?
Why are you getting that pop-up?
Who doesn't get that pop-up?
I don't.
Bro, it happens every time you watch anime on a site you're not supposed to watch anime because it's you're sailing the 7 seas. Don't tell anybody I said that.
I mean, I've got Crunchyroll G, but
lightsaber. Oh yeah, well, I got Funimation. They don't have everything on Funimation, so sometimes I gotta go to good old Kiss Anime.
True. But the lightsaber, the physics are dope,
right? Again, go check out Bombastic's full video on this. He's a great guy. He's got a great channel. But look at this customization, dude. Hold on, like. You could literally, he said that you could literally do like a Red Dead type of thing in the game, like Deadeye.
Dog,
there's an ability where you have a pistol and a lightsaber at the same time. That's one of the stances you can use.
Dog, I need Cal.
Look at this customization though. Look at this lightsaber, dude.
Yo. That's awesome. It's dope.
And every color makes a different sound, apparently. And then this is the BD-8 customization.
He's like one of my favorite droids.
Oh, I love him. I love BD. You can literally change so much on Cal, dude. You can basically make Cal look whatever you want.
That's awesome.
You can buy stuff from the store. You can buy different outfits. Seriously, dude. I swear to God. Look at that.
he looks like Sheamus there. From
literally does.
From WWE.
You could buy some to get a world. Here, I'll show you in a second. Oh no, wait! This is upstairs now. Instead of planting your plants in the ship, you plant them up on the top of the cantina.
Oh, really?
Which is kind of cool. I have a whole plot of land up here. Which literally is a chocobo from Final Fantasy. It's straight up just a chocobo. Especially that yellow one. And then this is the second mount that they got to play as while they were there. So there's more than 2 in the game, but these are the first 2. And obviously there's going to be multiple planets like always. So this is the fighting styles. The wall running has some cool animations right there. There's little details. Little secret puzzles. This is dope. These are little force puzzles that you can do.
Yeah.
How cool does this look? Like, and these give you in-game rewards. They're little force challenges. There's the droid doing the DJ, and then you'll see the Spotify pop up. See that, dude?
You can just tell that there's like love thrown into this game, bro. It's like
these are all the songs that he's got unlocked so far. Like, it's great. And then, like, overall, it just looked damn good. But
this better win Game of the Year, bro.
It might, quite possibly. But that's all I wanted to show you guys of that. Go and watch Bombastic's video on it, and check out the Aussie Jedi as well.
Actually,
they have great videos on that right now. They were both flown out to LA, so they got to play.
Actually, it might not win Game of the Year because we got Spider-Man coming out this year, and we got Legend of Zelda coming out. So
the Zelda game coming out?
Tears of the Kingdom, yeah.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well.
I've only ever played like Breath of the Wild a couple times, and
that's the sequel.
Okay, I thought so. So I played the old Zelda games a little bit at like my cousin's house and stuff like that.
And then
I never had like a DS or a Nintendo or a Game Boy.
And then there is a new Spider-Man game coming out, so that might win over this game.
It's possible. Miles Morales one?
No, like do you know how there was like the Marvel's Spider-Man game 8? It came out when we were in our senior year. Well, that game is getting a sequel.
I thought the Miles Morales one was a sequel.
It technically is, but it's a spin-off game.
Okay.
So now this game
plays in the same world though, or no?
Yeah, and also like Venom's like the main villain. So like,
ooh, nice.
Yeah, this game might win Game of the Year. It
very well might.
It probably will. Honestly, unless like Assassin's Creed sweeps, which I mean, listen, it very well might, but
it very well might.
Yeah, but
I mean, I think Assassin's Creed could, if Assassin's Creed is as good as like Black Flag, it's getting Game of the Year
for sure. Yeah,
it's getting Game of the Year. Like,
yeah,
100%. I could see it getting Game of the Year, and then. We've got, obviously, Jedi Survivor. What else is coming out to even look forward to? The Dune game, but I don't even know if that's coming out this year. The Dune MMO might be really cool. It's an RPG.
I'm excited for Jedi Survivor. I'm excited for Tears of the Kingdom. And I'm excited for Spider-Man. That's like really it.
We'll see if there's any announcements. There's not even an E3. E3 is canceled.
E3 is canceled because Sony and Microsoft pulled out of it.
They pulled out of it last year, and the year before that. They pulled out of it since COVID. Pause.
Yeah.
Xbox and Sony's pullout game is strong. Oh, come on.
But no, I mean,
everyone's getting DLC though.
Yeah,
that's another one. As long as God of War is not coming out this year, I think Jedi Survivor's got a good chance. But wait,
Max.
wait. Hogwarts Legacy came out this year.
That's true. Oh,
Forget about Hogwarts Legacy. That's going to be a big contender.
True.
And they're going to get DLC too, I believe. They're making like a whole. We'll talk about this tomorrow. I want to talk about the HBO Harry Potter news.
Yo, same.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But without further ado, I'm retiring the bandana for now.
I should play taps. Nah, actually.
In honor of Tech.
Hail.
Hail.